What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop and hey, check it out. I'm in the background now. Before Pokemon Sword and Shield were officially revealed, one of the series that I had running on my channel was 10 facts you don't know about each one of the Pokemon regions, and it is as it sounds because basically I was going through each one of the Pokemon regions and giving you guys 10 facts that you probably didn't know before watching that video. Well, obviously things got derailed a bit by the announcement of Sword and Shield, but I am finally ready to bring this series back, and today we are going to bring it back with the Unova Region. As you all probably know, the Unova Region, first introduced in the 5th generation of Pokemon games in Pokemon Black and White, is definitely one of the more controversial and dividing regions and generations of Pokemon that we've ever seen for all of the different things it did. But even still, it's a very noteworthy region, it's a very memorable one whether you like it or not, and there are a lot of interesting things to be had about it. However, even if you are a hardcore Unova fanboy, I am willing to bet that you do not know everything there is to know about the Unova region, and that is exactly what this video is about. Today we are going to be going over 10 facts you don't know about the Unova region, and hopefully I'll be able to share with you guys some interesting facts you didn't know, and maybe you'll be able to learn something cool. That's my whole goal here. I really love doing these videos, so I'm excited to bring this series back, and without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and just get started. Okay, we are going to be starting things off here by taking a look at one of the earliest cities you come across in your Unovan adventure, and that would be Stratton City. Now, Stratton City, in relation to the Unova region and the New York area of the United States in which it is based on, is in relatively the same location to Long Island. But this potential inspiration for Stratton City actually goes way deeper than just that, because if you take a look at the map description of Stratton City, it reads, "Entry stairs built in memory of a former home in a snowier climate." And the fact that it mentions a snowier climate is actually really key here, because Stratton City also gets its name from the word striation, and glacial striations, which are more or less erosions in rock caused as a result of glaciers, are actually what formed the Long Island area in present-day New York, which Stratton City is in the same general location of on the Unova map, meaning that Stratton City is most likely directly based on the Long Island area. In Nacrene City, there's actually an NPC in this area known as Last Die, and she serves the function of a trade NPC where she will trade you either a Cottony or a Petalil depending on your version of the game. It actually gets much more interesting from here though, because once you have traded with Last Die and defeated Getsis within the main story, she will actually challenge you to a battle using the evolved form of the Pokemon you traded to her, and depending on the level of that Pokemon you traded to her, Last Die's either Whimsicott or Lilligant can be high as level 100, which actually gets Last Die the distinction of having the highest leveled Pokemon of any trainer in the entire franchise outside of a battle facility, even topping Red's level 88 Pikachu in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Who'da thought? Staying within Nacrene City though, the city's motto is a pearl of a place, which honestly seems a little bit out of place because it doesn't really seem like Nacrene City has anything to do with pearls or anything like that. However, the meaning behind this motto can actually be found within the name of Nacrene City itself, because Nacrene City gets its name from nacreous clouds, which also gets its name from the word nacre, and nacre is the name of a material that some mollusks produce that is also known by the name of Mother of Pearl, hence the motto, a pearl of a place. Moving on a little bit to Castelia City, Castelia City is in effect the capital of the Unova region, and as one of the biggest cities in the Unova region as well, many different things can be found within its various streets and buildings. One of the things that can be found specifically within one of its buildings is the headquarters of Game Freak, who obviously make the Pokemon games, and they can be found on the 22nd floor of their respective building. However, this isn't just some random location for them to appear within the game, because it's actually a direct reference to their location within the real world. Game Freak is currently headquartered, or at least they were during the time of Black and White's development, in a tower in Tokyo known as the Carrot Tower, and their headquarters is located on the 22nd floor of this specific tower, just like it's located on the 22nd floor of their respective building in Castelia City in Pokemon Black and White. One very odd yet interesting thing about the Elite Four of the Unova region is that in each one of the Elite Four rooms, you will find a spiral staircase that you have to climb in order to reach the Elite Four members. However, depending on the gender of any of these Elite Four members, the spiral staircase will actually do something specific. Because in the rooms of female Elite Four members, the spiral staircase will actually do one full rotation before reaching the top, whereas in the rooms of male Elite Four members, the spiral staircase will actually do 2 full rotations before reaching the top. A small yet interesting detail about the development of the Unova region is that in an interview with Game Informer, Junichi Masuda actually revealed when going over planning documents for Pokemon Black and White that there were originally ideas in place for a black forest and a white town within the Unova region, which is clearly the opposite of how these two locations ended up in the final game as the Black City and the White Forest. The Japanese name of Lost Lorne Forest is actually shared by a number of other locations within the Pokemon world, as Route 20 in Kalos, which is also known as the Bewildering Woods, is very similar to Bewilder Forest, which is the Japanese name of Lost Lorne Forest, and the same name is also given to an anime-exclusive location in Sinnoh. On top of that, Bewilder Forest, or rather Lost Lorne Forest, is also known in Japanese as Mayoi no Mori, and this name is actually given to a number of video game forests across various different franchises. This is because the Mayoi and Mayoi no Mori can actually be translated in a couple different ways because the word actually has a couple different yet similar meanings, including getting lost, mental confusion, spiritual confusion, indecision or hesitation, illusion, and delusion. Among the franchises that have actually used Mayoi no Mori as the name for a forest, though, include The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, and even Final Fantasy. Speaking of things in Pokemon that are also seen in other video game franchises, the music for Unova's Celestial Tower is also nearly identical to a couple other tracks in some very prominent video games. It sounds nearly identical to Mystery of the Forest from Chrono Trigger, as well as the Sanctuary Dungeon theme from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Take a listen. In the Unova region, there is a place known as the Giant Chasm where the legendary Pokemon Kyurem resides. However, this place is actually a lot more deeply connected to the events of our own real world than you might have actually thought. This is because the Giant Chasm, as well as the events surrounding it in the games, are actually inspired by the real-world Tunguska event. The Tunguska event occurred in the eastern Siberian taiga of Russia in June of 1908, where 2,000 square kilometers, or 770 square miles of forest, were completely flattened by an explosion of what is thought to be the result of an airburst of a meteor that was falling down to Earth at the time. Now, obviously, by looking at these pictures here, it's very easy to see the similarities between the Giant Chasm and the Tunguska event. In addition to these visual similarities, there are also a lot of conspiracies surrounding the Tunguska event that directly correlate to the events of the Giant Chasm as well, because it is thought, or conspiracized, if you will, that the Tunguska event has something to do with aliens or government weapons testing or something like that, whereas the Giant Chasm in Unova is thought to be the home of a monster that fell from the sky, and Kyurem itself even fell from a comet, much like the comet that is thought to have fallen and caused the Tunguska event, further tying these two events together. And last but certainly not least, we have yet another location in Unova that is actually based on a rather controversial area within our own world, and that would be the P2 laboratory that is used by Team Plasma in Unova, being based on the P2 Lodge, which was actually a secret Masonic lodge in Italy that has been connected to a number of different crimes, conspiracies, and mysteries. This inspiration actually caused the Italian and Spanish versions of the Gen 5 games to change the name of the P2 laboratory altogether to the P&P laboratory as opposed to the P2 laboratory to avoid any connection with the infamous P2 Lodge. And there we have it, everybody. Those were 10 facts about the Unova region that hopefully you did not know. Every time with one of these videos, I always do my best to dig out facts that I don't think very many people know, because of course the point of these videos is to teach you guys something new about Pokemon, because that is what I love to do almost more than anything here on YouTube. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to give it a like and let me know down in the comments below what you think of these facts and if you knew any of them or if you learned anything new from this video as well. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and once we get more news about Sword and Shield, there will be plenty more for that as well, so don't worry about that. And finally, if you enjoy what you see here and you'd like to see more in the future, consider following me on Spotify and giving some of my Pokemon remixes a listen there, because that is the easiest way outside of watching videos to directly support the channel, and it does directly support the future production and the sustenance and just sustaining the channel in general and helping it grow, and it just really helps a ton. So if you're doing it or you're considering doing it, thank you so much. With all of that being said though, I will be back on Saturday for another video, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as it goes live. And with all of that being said, you know I love you guys, and until the next one, as always, I will smell you guys later.